When I was a kid, I loved cars. Still do. The 57 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham was the most advanced car in the world. Cost more than a Rolls. Hand-built with a stainless steel roof, cruise control, electric seats, and would you believe, air suspension. American iron. It's a passion Shannons understand. That's why they insure my daily drive, the caddy, my bike, even the house.
Call Shannons on 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
Gasoline is proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts, and the following sponsors. I'm Michael Curzon, producer, creator of Gasoline. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome back to Gasoline, viewers. I'm in heaven. I'm at the American Breed 2012 car show. It's run by the 60s American Muscle Car Club. Have a look at some of these cars behind me here and you'll see why I'm excited. Last year they had 400 cars here, and I reckon this year, even though the weather's a bit iffy, there'll be a few more. It's going to kill me trying to cover all these cars. There's way too many. I'm just about to explode with excitement. Let's get out there and check some of these babies out. Talk about an angry 70 Dodge Challenger here. Awesome piece of machinery, this thing. We're with Chris McLegan here, mate. Tell us about this car, it's wild.
Yeah, well, 1970 Challenger, rotisserie rebuild, 605 Indy Hemi. It's done a 10.6 at 130, so yeah, it's good. It's good. Torque light, 9-inch, 35 spline, Detroit locker, so yeah, it's been on the road for 6 years now. Just played the reg over the 6th time, which is yeah, it's amazing how quick it goes, you know.
Tell us about this big Hemi, mate.
Yeah, it's an Indy cylinder head engine, which I bought from the States. Got it flown over. So back then there was only them. I think maybe Ray Barton was doing them, but I chose Indy, and it's been good. It's been really good. Yeah.
What sort of power and torque does it make?
812 on the engine dyno, and I think it's 790 foot-pounds of torque, something like that. So.
Did you build the car yourself?
Yeah, did everything. Yeah, I'm panel beater, so. Yeah, did a whole lot of work.
So basically nut and bolt, right back to nothing?
Everything, yeah, back to nothing. So it's the only way to go, I suppose. And yeah, I had a plan when I built it, when I bought it in 2004. Took 2 years, and yeah, and got it like this. So that's it. Yeah, now it's finished. I haven't touched it since, basically.
Thanks so much for talking to us. Beautiful car. It's a credit to you, mate. And I love it. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Check out this beautiful 66 Ford Galaxy here, two-door too. With Mick Sloan, the owner here. Mick, great car. Tell us all about it.
Oh, it's a 66 fastback. It's got a stroke big block in it, manualised auto, 9-inch true track with Moser axles and everything. pretty much wanted the car from when I was 18, and pretty much 6 years ago I got it, and 5 years building it, and here she is. So
You were telling me before that you used to have a picture of one of these on the fridge for 20 years, and you finally got one.
Yeah, finally got one. I nagged my wife for years and years, and then she finally said, well, get it, and I did. So she was a bit disappointed that I did. She didn't think I'd do it, but yeah. So now I've got it.
Now the engine's a little bit different to your average engine you might see here today. It's actually LPG, high performance.
Yeah, straight gas, yep. A couple of 425 IMCO carbies on it, been modified by a good friend. Very impressed with it, love it. Yeah, goes well and cheap to run.
And you've done quite a few kilometres in it this year, you were saying?
Yeah, probably done close to 8,000 Ks in it already. Yep, in it all the time. My young bloke here, every time I pick him up from school, he wants me to bring it, so yep, we're in it all the time.
Well, thanks very much for talking to us, Mick. Beautiful car.
No worries, thank you.
Credit to you, mate.
Yep, thanks very much.
Thank you.
See you later.
Now here's an event to mark on your calendar for 2013, the Gasolene Muscle Car Expo. There's never been an event like this one, where some of Australia's very best concourse American and Australian muscle cars come together under one roof. Also featured by special invitation, barn finds, street machines, special interests and 50s classics. If you have a concourse standard muscle car or any vehicle that you think might be eligible to enter this event, then contact Michael Curson via the Gasolene website. This one is going to be huge. And don't forget, viewers, to look up the all-new Shannons Club. Shannons Club is a huge site. It's like a hub for enthusiasts. You jump on there. You can start your own garage, put pictures of your cars up there, stories of your cars, videos, you name it. You'll see people like myself on there, Jim Richards. Click on our garages and check out some of our machines and some of our past machines. It's an incredible site. It's growing every day, so get onto it and have a ball. Well, I can't believe what I found here. A genuine 1970 AAR Cuda. These things are super, super rare. Effectively, they were bought out for the American Trans Am Racing Series for homologation purposes. A lot like your Boss 302 Mustangs and your Trans Am Challengers and all the other cars like your Camaro Z28s and what have we. So it's a pretty rare and iconic car. Probably very comparable to our GTHO Falcon over here in Australia, and that's why I love these things so much. We're here with Rick Saunders. Mate, what a find. You're a lucky, lucky man.
I am very lucky, yes. Came from Washington State, and was originally an eBay find that didn't go off through eBay. So I was actually through emailing the guy, and yeah, we talked sort of price over a few weeks, and eventually I got it for a little bit cheaper, and yeah, and here it is today.
Fantastic. And for the viewers that don't know out there, tell them about the power plant and the drivetrain in this car.
Okay, yeah, it's a 340 small block. It runs a 6-pack carby setup on it. Yeah, and it's a factory manual with a pistol shift, and yeah, it goes like all hell.
The 340 was an iconic engine. Effectively, they were a high-performance engine from factory. They had all sorts of things like, as far as I know, oiling system modifications, very tough, different camshaft, and that the 6-pack carburation setup is effectively 3 lots of 2 barrels, isn't it? Where one works primarily and the other 2 working at a certain throttle point. Is that right?
That's right. Yes, exactly. And you can feel that on the accelerator pedal. It's quite easy on the pedal on the middle carburetor, and then you can feel it get a little bit tougher on the springs when the secondaries come in, and you get pushed back in the seat anyway, so you know all about it.
Does it howl?
It's got like a different sound with a megaphone exhaust system on it, so it's all good, yeah, and it's all unique to that car.
Awesome stuff, mate. Thanks so much for talking to us. It's a rare find. I'm so happy to have actually felt, seen and touched a genuine AAR Cuda.
Yeah, I believe there's not too many in Australia. I'm not sure how many there are, but there wouldn't be too many around.
Incredible, mate. Well, thanks so much for talking to us, Rick. I appreciate your time.
Okay then, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, I've found something you won't see every day here. The very first of the El Caminos, this 59 model, owned by Richie Whitehead here. Richie, beautiful car, mate. Tell us all about it. Where'd you get it from? And tell us about the car.
Well, I bought it about 9 months ago. I I was very lucky to find it. It was owned by the chief of police in New York. He was in New York police force for 20 odd years. He retired to Florida and restored the car. He was then restoring another one, and he was so happy that it was coming to Australia. He wanted to continue its show results. It really has won some very major shows in the world, and it does have, for those, I didn't understand what this meant, but it's got 3 platinum certificates, which apparently rates it as amongst the best cars in the world.
So tell us about the drivetrain, Richie.
Well, it's got a turbo 700 transmission, and it's got, which is now a very scarce and wanted motor in the 59 El Camino. It's got the 348, which apparently makes it very desirable. It has it's had the disc brakes to the front, factory air conditioning, factory radio, and it's done now 8,000 miles since it was completely restored.
Wow, so it's virtually fully loaded. It's a hamburger with a lot. How does it drive?
It drives very, very well.
Well, thanks so much for talking to us, Richie. It's a beautiful car. It's spectacular. It stood out to me, and I couldn't wait to jump on it and have a look at it. Thanks for talking to us.
I'm very, very pleased, Glenn.
Well, you just saw Richie's beautiful El Camino before. Well, this is his son, Jeff Whitehead, and his beautiful 60 Chevy Impala here. Mate, Chevys must run in the family.
Well, I'm actually a little bit fortunate. This did belong to Richie, and when he fell in love, of course, with the El Camino, fortunately for me, he didn't have room for 2. So
she got handballed.
Yeah, indeed. I couldn't see it get passed on out of the family, so I was lucky enough to take it off his hands and give it a good home.
Good stuff. Tell us about the car. Where did it come from? Give us a bit of a rundown on it.
Yeah, sure. Well, this came from Texas. Richie and I were fortunate enough to go over to the States last year together for a bit of a father and son trip and have a look at a few cars and that sort of thing. And so he came home with this. Just a lovely example of a really nice car to drive, and we really enjoy it.
And the power plant and the drivetrain?
350 turbo 700 transmission, and it's just a really nice car. Yeah.
So you got a bit of new technology in there, mate.
Indeed, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So no, we enjoy it, and of course the beauty of having a big car, you can fill it up with a few friends and go for a cruise, and So.
These things look absolutely spectacular cruising down the road together. I saw them coming here today, and they just jumped at me, mate.
Yeah, no, cheers, we appreciate that. But no, it's good fun. We enjoy it, and just an opportunity to get out and have a look at all these other cars and mix with car people. So no, it's good.
Good stuff, mate. Well, thanks so much for talking to us, Jeff. I appreciate your time. Beautiful car.
Good on you, Glenn. No worries.
Thanks,
cheers, matey.
Thanks. Well, I found an absolutely sensational 68 Pontiac Firebird here. It's a beautiful looking piece of machinery. I'm sure you'll agree. It's owned by Adam Barry here. Adam, great car. Tell us all about it.
I had it probably 18 years. Just over the years, cleaned it up, trying to make it look as tight as I can. Still a bit of a work in progress, you know. But yeah, just get out and enjoy it, yeah.
And it's got the big 400 under the hood?
Yeah, it's still the original Pontiac 400. Seems to go all right, plenty of torque, plenty of get up and go.
And what trans does it run?
It's running a Turbo 400, just a 3-speed, so yeah, just stock as far as I know. I've never done any work to it, but yeah, it seems to get up and hook up all right.
I've got to say, I absolutely love this colour. Is it a factory colour?
It's a factory colour, yeah. It's the original colour of the car was a gold colour, but this is the same colour from the same year, 68 colour, so yeah.
Fantastic, mate. Wise choice, and with the red wall tyres just really offsets the whole package. And I love these wheels too. They are the factory wheel, aren't they?
They are a factory wheel, yeah. They come out with the Rally 2 wheels, they call them, yeah.
Well, you can see where GM Australia stole their wheels from for the HQ range now, can't you?
Yeah, definitely come from GM in the States, absolutely, yeah.
They just ticked that box in the catalogue with GM and said, we'll have those for our Monaros.
That's right, yeah.
Well, mate, fantastic car. It's a credit to you. Beautiful looking piece of machinery, very unique. And thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Love these old Chevy classics, and this 55 here is absolutely awesome. Have a look at what's under the hood of this thing. It's a wild ride. Paul Mammoth here actually owns and built this car. You built it with your brother too, didn't you?
Yes, we did, Jim Amos, yep.
Tell us all about it.
Well, we started about 10 years ago. We restored it about 7 years ago and just put a bit of hard work into it.
Tell us about the drivetrain in the car.
All right, what we've got is a 454 with an 871 blower on it. It produces about 850 on the rear wheels. Kind of nice car to drive. Turbo 400, 3 grand Storley.
1,000+ horsepower at the engine, mate. That's not mucking around, is it?
No, a bit of fun to drive.
Is it drivable? Is it practical?
Yeah, pretty practical. You can drive it, pretty smooth. But
that's the beauty of force induction, isn't it?
It sure is.
You don't need crazy camshafts. Just force induction, it does the job.
It does that.
And what sort of differentiator does it run?
It's got 3 7s, straight axles, billet axles, 31 spline. Yep, so it's got all the good gear.
So she's pretty low. She'd light the tyres up pretty easily.
She lights them up. She probably lights them up at about 100, 120 k's. So
incredible, isn't it?
It sure is.
And did you guys do most of the work on the car?
Yeah, most of it. We've done it, and then we just had to, contract the paint work out and the leather work out, but sort of designed it exactly how we wanted it and build it as we wanted it. So,
what is the name of the colour?
It's honeycomb yellow with a white Zeralic pearl.
Because it looks absolutely outstanding. I love the whole package. It's great.
Yeah, thank you. It sounds good.
But thanks so much for talking to us, Paul.
No
beautiful car.
It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, we're back at Rockin' Industries, and with over 60,000 high-performance part numbers on the shelf in here, I'm like a kid in a candy store. So let's get into it and check out some of these parts. Well, this is one of the best parts about coming up here to Rockin' Industries. They're crate engines. Gotta love them. I'm very excited about this engine here. It's a GM LS-based 427. That's right, a current model small block packed full of 427 cubic inches. There's no better option, I believe. We all have our big blocks, but at the end of the day, they're a big, heavy engine. These things are lightweight and very powerful. The thing I like about this engine is that it uses the current style LS all-aluminium engine block, the LS3 to be exact. It uses the all-alloy LS3 style cylinder heads with that huge rectangular inlet port on them. They flow like you wouldn't believe. It's topped with a beautiful single plane intake manifold and an 850 double pumper carb made by AED. It's packed full of forged rotating internals, forged steel crankshaft, forged I-beam conrods, male pistons. It's got a big roller camshaft in it, but still quite drivable at 243 at 50 on the inlet and 263 on the exhaust, with 624 thou lift on 114 lobe separation. Not trying to confuse you there with too many technical specifications, but for those of you that know old school engines, you'd know that they usually run a very tight lobe separation, somewhere around 106 to 108. That was done because the cylinder heads back in the day didn't have much port velocity. They were usually quite large in the ports and not really good in the design. So they used to run a lot of overlap with that tight lobe sep to try and pull exhaust through the intake to try and get that torque happening and more power down low. With these current engines, they're so efficient. You can widen that lobe separation up, decrease the overlap, and still have that low end power, but make a lot more mid to top end power. The other thing you get with less overlap is you get a much more drivable engine. It'll still idle tough, don't get me wrong, and we all want that, but it'll be much more practical on the street and run like an absolute gem and make its absolutely whopping 625 horsepower and 550 foot-pound of torque. That is very, very impressive. It's also got a high-performance harmonic balancer. It's got a retrofit sump on it. All you need is an ignition box for this engine, put it in the car, pop the water pump on, fire the thing up and have an absolute ball. And for around $13,000, how could you go wrong? To download your free copy of the Rocket Industries and Aeroflow Performance Parts catalogues, go to the sponsor section at the Gasolene website. Click on the links and download away. With over 650 combined pages of performance parts and accessories, you're sure to find everything you need for your car.
You've been watching Gasolene.
Well, have a look at what I found here, the iconic 64 Pontiac GTO. They say these cars are where the muscle car era actually started. They were one of the first big bangers of that period in time. Car's owned by Anthony Maninoff here. Anthony, fantastic car. Tell us all about it.
Oh, well, I was laid up in bed for a month in December with a knee operation. I was just surfing the net and looking for all the right combinations, being the colour, black with red interior, and of course tri-power with the drop pipes and all the options that I was keen on. So this one came up and made the guy an offer over in Ohio, and the car was mine, and here in sort of, well, it took 6 months to come, so happy as Larry with what it looked like anyway. Very good.
And just for the viewers out there, they were a very special car, these cars. Tell them why. Tell us about the engine in this car.
Well, it's a 389 paired with a 4-speed manual gearbox. I think it's an M20. Oh, look, the special thing about the car is many people say it started the muscle car era, what they call a big block engine shoehorned into a mid-sized chassis.
And the triple carb combination?
Triple carbs, well, yeah, when that was that added about 40 or 50 horsepower, and that was like, I think on the papers it says a $295 option at the time, which surprisingly enough many people didn't take, but yeah, they're very hard to find these days.
Well, I'm glad for your sake they did on this one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What sort of power figures do they make from the factory, these things?
Out of the factory they were 348 horsepower. Yeah, so a quarter mile in just over 14 seconds, which 1964, it's not a bad little spinner. I tell you what, it doesn't go too well around corners. They used to race them as well. I'm thinking, geez,
they're a straight line machine.
They're a straight line machine, that's for sure.
And I imagine tyres wouldn't have been too flush back then. A good set of tyres would have popped them into a 13, I'd bet.
No doubt. I mean, I'm running the original tyres as it is now, the Crossply Firestones, and getting here today and with a little bit of water on the road was a little bit hairy at times, but oh, they look the bit though. So.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for talking to us. Iconic car. Yep. I'm really envious of you, and thank you very much for your time.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Found a nice 67 Pontiac Firebird here, owned by Luke Kinsmore here. Luke, beautiful car. Give us a rundown.
Yeah, just been restoring it for the past 7 years. Just finished it for our wedding, so yeah, it's a bit of a mission. But I do body fabrication myself and restorations and that. So yeah, a lot of steel work went into it.
Mate, how do you find time to work on your own car?
Oh well, that's yeah. I just had to make time, so
that's why it's been that 7 years.
That's it. Yeah, last 6 months was pretty hard. Used up all the wedding dress money and whatever else I could find. Mrs. was pretty good with it. So,
mate, she definitely looks the part. Tell us more about the car itself.
Yeah, I've done a 4-link rear end and sheet metal diff and that under it. Yeah, just done a bonnet steel, boots all steel, the wing on the back, and yeah, motor, built that up, 600 plus horsepower. So yeah, it goes good, doesn't really stop yet.
So what is the engine?
454, yeah, power glide and trans brake, so.
Definitely can't beat cubic inches, can you?
Oh, you can't, I was told that, and yeah, they're right.
I like smaller engines too and high RPM engines, but there's nothing like torque, is there? Torque wins races, they say.
That's it, yeah. And the setup, I've got a 4,000 stall converter, so it's all working really good. And yeah, I was a bit worried about it pinging with the fuel, but I haven't had any dramas. So
what sort of compression ratio does it run?
12.5. So
that's quite a bit of compression. If you set the camshaft up correctly and you've got enough overlap in the right area, you're not sort of building up too much dynamic cylinder pressure, and you can run plenty of comp, and it does make great torque. So that's obviously worked for you.
Yeah, that was all new to me. Yeah, it all come together really good, and I got the big boots under the back, so I've got no problem with traction, getting plenty of traction, which is good. So I want to take it down the drags and give it a bit of a squirt.
What are you hoping for?
10. Yeah, I'd love to get a 10.
It's a nice number, 10, isn't it?
That's it. I think if you can drive it on the road and get a 10. We live down a dirt road, so to even keep it clean's a mission.
Well, mate, fantastic talking to you. You've done a great job on the build of the car, and it's a credit to you, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Get to watch Gasolene.
And now available on DVD, Gasolene Season 1. Call Michael Curson on the number below, or check out the Gasolene website for details on purchasing this collection. And remember, viewers, if you want to see past Gasolene episodes, go to shannons.com.au. Click on the Gasolene link and enjoy. And remember, this is a whole new season of Gasolene with new episodes every Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m, Australia-wide.
Gasolene is proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts, and the following sponsors. I'm Michael Curzon, producer, creator of Gasolene. Hope you enjoy.